Hello, Michael Elliott here with Between Two Mammoths here in Chapin Chapel today. And today I'm here with Rossi from the class of 2025 from New York City, a biochemistry and Spanish major. Ines, thank you so much for being on Between Two Mammoths.
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
Maybe we just start with your journey to Amherst. Tell me a little bit about how did Amherst show up on your radar and how did you think about Amherst as you were approaching it?
I think the main way I really first heard about Amherst is through my dad. He immigrated here from Italy when he was a kid, first generation high school student and college student, and so I had grown up hearing all these like transformative stories, giving him countless opportunities that his siblings didn't have, that his parents didn't have whatsoever. And so I think Amherst had always been sort of like a mythical kind of magical place in my mind since I was a really little kid, and I didn't necessarily know like when I was young if I wanted to go here, but I guess I wanted to see what it was all about, and I'm so lucky to be here and so happy that I decided on Amherst.
Well, I'm thrilled that you did as well. And one reason I'm thrilled is that in addition to all the other things you're doing on campus, you are one of our superstar tour guides, and so you now get to introduce Amherst to prospective students from all over the world who happen to be visiting campus. What made you, first of all, interested in that? What brought you to doing that?
I think, honestly, from the second I got to Amherst, I really wanted to be a tour guide. It was something for some reason I've always really wanted to do. I don't totally know why. I think I'm relatively personable. I love meeting new people and just getting to like show people something that I love. It can be so busy to be an Amherst student between academics and clubs and sports and jobs, etc. But being a tour guide really gets you outside like for an hour every single week, walking around campus, like watching people with wide eyes, discovering Amherst and seeing it for the first time. And it really reminds you how like lucky you are to be here, how beautiful our campus is, especially during the fall. Like I love giving tours in the fall.
You've also played a role in the Access to Amherst program, A2A. Can you tell us a little bit more about that program and why you think it's so important?
So Access to Amherst, or A2A, is our like diversity initiative, our fly-in program, and I was a member of it in the class of 2025, and obviously that was like during the height of the pandemic, so we were not able to come to campus, and it was all over Zoom. But this past year, students came from around the country, and I was actually lucky enough to give one of the tours to the Access to Amherst students. And what was really special about that tour is a lot of they're here for a weekend, and they're staying in a dorm with a current Amherst student, which I was a host for as well. And so just being able to really talk so openly, questions that they wanted to ask a student in confidence, a student who's a tour guide, a student who's a junior, and not in front of an admissions dean. So it was really nice to be able to just like have such open lines of communication with people who very well may be in the class of, I suppose, 2028, oh my goodness. But so that was a very special experience to both be a part of as a prospective student and then also now as a student to be able to kind of help A2A students learn more about Amherst.
That's terrific. Well, I certainly don't want you to break any of their confidence, but I'm going to ask you maybe to share a secret of your own. Do you have a secret spot at Amherst or a place that you would love especially that you know about but you don't think everybody knows about that is important to you?
Definitely. I think that, I love studying all over campus, honestly. I spent a lot of time in Frost, but I think what's awesome about Amherst is we have so many academic buildings like Barrett, Chapin, Fairweather, and I've found that one of my favorite study spots that can't go to as much anymore because my friend's no longer in the art class, but they were, one of my best friends was taking a printmaking class, and there was one night where we were studying in there for a bunch of hours. They were doing their printmaking, I was doing my like thermodynamics and kinetics homework for intro chem. So I point out Fairweather and I talk about that experience on every tour just because I think there's always new spots to discover on Amherst campus even though we're a smaller school.
That's terrific, and Fairweather is a beautiful building.
It is inside and out, truly. Yeah.
Ines, thank you so much for being here on Between Two Mammoths, and thank you for everything that you do to introduce Amherst to so many people.
Thank you so much for having me.